Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name's Ginny Davis. I'm the principal of Piedmont Hills. This is our very last Zoom with the principal of the school year. On Zoom, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Zoom, other than joining every week, but you schedule them all out and you've got them listed kind of on your home screen on Zoom. And so today was 42 out of 42 instances of this meeting. And so today was the last one. Next week at this time, I will be out with the seniors on the football field doing graduation practice. So it's been a long year, but it's wrapping up very fast. So our topic today is summer self-care. And kind of with the idea of modeling self-care for our teenagers. So, that they see that this is something that important, that we take care of ourselves. And so they hopefully will do the same for themselves. And I gave you guys a couple weeks ago a homework assignment to think about one thing that you're going to do this summer that is just for you and that you are going to be putting yourself first. So Yvonne, did you think of something? What's your thing?
Honestly, no, actually. I'm
Okay.
doing like
Okay,
I
guys.
do nothing. That's for
Yvonne
me.
didn't do her
I
homework.
know, I know. Or maybe I did too much homework because like the whole summer is about me, to be honest, this year.
Well, tell us what
Like
you're
I'm
doing.
picking, well, I'm actually not doing much of anything. I'm following my husband on a business trip because the hotels are already paid for. So I'm doing a couple cool things, a couple cool places. But honestly, the gift to myself was saying no to plans. Like I was supposed to go to on an Oregon road trip and some other things, and I just don't want to. I just want to stay home, organize my house, watch some mindless TV, read a book, and that's it. And so for me, that's been my greatest gift to myself is just saying no. I'm like always running, 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 and I'm just like, I don't want to do that.
I think that that is actually a perfect example of something to do, like learning how to say no and being like, no, I just don't want to do that. And I think, in terms of modeling for our teenagers, that's actually a great thing to teach our teens to do. Because I just, especially with our high achieving students, I just see them putting on so much stress on themselves and like so many commitments and with clubs and sports and then they've got all their classes on top of it and just learning to say no, I need to not stress myself out. I need to take care of myself. And even though some of the things that you may say no to sound like they'd be fun and sound like they'd be worthwhile, but maybe it's just going to stress you out more. And so I think learning to say no is a great thing.
I've been using the term social battery a lot this week of like I just don't have it and I usually do. And so I think it's a good thing to monitor that for yourself because I can go somewhere and maybe not be the best company because I'm exhausted and tired and kind of checked out. Or I can stay home and take care of myself so that the next thing I do is going to be a little bit more fun. When you were talking about the kids, like kind of our overachieving kids, I would wonder, like, if we like polled them and asked them, like, what percentage of things do you do because you actually want to do them versus which percentage of things do you do out of obligation or guilt or for something in the future later? Like, and I would venture to guess that it's a very small percentage of activities that are just because and just for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay. Somebody, that's, if you guys want to put it in the chat, you can take yourself off mute. Does anybody want to share, what they are doing for themselves, just for themselves this summer while you guys are getting ready to do that, or you're putting stuff in the chat? I will share what my thing is. I have, and I've talked about it before, we kind of talk about like things that we kind of like want to do for ourselves or, you know, just your dreams and stuff. I've always wanted to start writing more and actually like write fiction, and like this is like creative side of me that I've always wanted to explore. I've It's always kind of been on the back of my mind. I think I've talked about it for years that this is something I want to start doing. So what I did, and I did it just this past weekend, I ordered myself a desk. I told my husband we're going to clear out a corner of our bedroom that is just where we pile junk. And that's going to be my writing nook. And so like I'm like so it's kind of like I'm taking a step, like, okay, I'm like making a physical space in my house that this is what I'm going to do. And this is like an area that I'm setting aside just for myself to do this. So I'm excited about that.
I love that.
Amy says, I'm planning to set my alarm for an hour later in the morning. Amy, I think that's amazing. That is actually something too that I've been thinking about. So I've like actually this morning when my alarm went off, it like literally I was like, okay, I've got 7 more days of the alarm going off at this time. Even though I work during the summer, I do set it a little bit later, and I like it's like I have like my summer hours and my school year hours, and so I am very much looking forward to that. I'm with you, Amy. Anything
I
else?
just had a whole conversation. I just had a whole conversation with the student about the snooze button, and if we think that those extra 8 minutes in like separated are actually like helpful at all, or if it just feels good in that moment, and we didn't really come up with an answer.
The people that are sleep experts say it's not helpful, that
Okay.
it's not actual sleep, that it's better just to get up, or if you like are going to snooze for 30 minutes, like just actually set your alarm clock for 30 minutes later, like, and get like set your alarm clock for when you actually have to get up. It is so hard to do though. I'm I'm such a snooze button person. I probably drive my husband crazy. But it's so hard to do. And I have
But,
3 alarms that go off in the morning. So
but if you are the partner of somebody who's snoozing, it is annoying. We go back and forth. We go back and forth.
yeah. Okay, let's see. This summer I want to learn a new skill like swimming, which I've been putting off for so many years. That is a great thing to do. I love that. Um, yeah. I think swimming, especially as an adult, like learning how to swim. Um, I've heard I learned how to swim very, very young, but I've heard that learning as an adult that's really difficult to do. Well, not difficult, but it's scary to do because there's a lot of like with that fear of water. And so good for you. That's I love that. Anybody else want to learn a new skill? I was also thinking this morning, when I was in the kitchen this morning and I was thinking about maybe this summer I will like make jam. Um, my mom, used to always like make jam every summer. That was a thing that she did. And of course, my mom's not around anymore. So I was like, maybe I'll make some jam this summer for my mom. So,
Oh,
uh,
I love that.
all right. Lynn learned how to swim at 70. That's awesome. Sherrod
That's
said,
awesome.
I finally booked tickets to look up my friend that I've not met in almost 10 years. So looking forward to that this summer. Oh, I love
Oh,
that.
that's
Reconnecting with
awesome.
old friends. That's a great
That sounds like
thing to do.
you. That's a good one.
I
I love
love
that.
that. Yeah. I think it's so just at our age and like as an adult, like I feel like you get so wrapped up in your kids and just your life. And so like taking time to reconnect with old friends and like having time just like with for friendships, I think as women we tend to be better at that. I think men don't do that as well, which I wish they would, because I don't know, I just think it's harder. It's weird for men, like that toxic masculinity thing. But um I definitely I love like spending time with friends, and friends that like are from your past. And what's great, I've found when you like reconnect with a friend, it's like no time has gone past. Like you're just
Mhm.
like right there, with them again. And just
I love that.
it's such a great feeling.
Like I feel like nothing can reset me the way like an evening of just hanging out with the girls can. Like even like the
Mhm.
worst days, we all come together and it's just like fun and easy and it just does something really good. I just that's probably my favorite way to take care of myself besides,
Yeah.
getting my nails done.
Yeah, I definitely like I think that I'm somebody who tends to be, well, no, I don't tend to be. I am a very introverted person. And so a lot of times my recharging, I need to be by myself and like do quiet things like read a book or, that sort of thing. Um, and but that's something that I kind of need on a daily basis. But then sometimes, I need that kind of social recharge. You're talking about that social battery, Yvonne, like sometimes you need to be like, no, I just can't be around people. But sometimes, like, I find, like, as an introverted person, I need to just be with a couple of close friends and just like not like have no pressure and just laugh and enjoy like other people with no like having to force conversation. Like going to a party with a bunch of people that I don't know, honestly, is torture to me. Like it's like the worst thing in the world. I can't.
Not
I
fun,
have to
honest.
like
Yeah.
gear myself up for that. Like I really don't enjoy stuff like that. But just hanging out with a couple of close friends, the best.
Yeah, I think
Best.
that's actually a good form of self-care is to kind of remind yourself who in your circle like kind of sucks your energy and who really helps rejuvenate you and remembering that when you're making plans of like, okay, I know that when I leave this situation, I usually feel a little bit better versus the people that it's okay to say no to. You can like care about somebody and love somebody and not have the social battery to let them like suck that out of you. It's okay. I'm barely learning that at 45 years old that I can say no and it
And
doesn't
that's such a good point. And I think like you could have friends that are your friends and you do truly care for them and love them, or you could even be family members. They can be a lot and they're not necessarily relaxing to be around. And yeah, just kind of like knowing yourself and like what you need at that moment. Yeah, that's a very good point. Virginia, did you do your homework? Do you have something that you are doing just for yourself this summer?
Good morning.
Morning.
So this summer I want to learn to craft more,
Oh,
learn more new projects.
oh, that's
And
awesome.
okay.
probably I started trying to crochet, but I haven't really mastered that skill. So I just want to be able to get focused in something where it takes away my mind from all
Mhm.
the stuff around. So I know like crafting, I'm really focused on that. Crocheting, is something so just basically removing my mind and my thoughts, finding whatever I can to do that for myself.
I love
But I
Yeah.
did just get back from Vegas on a girls' trip, and that was such an amazing experience. And it's funny because how you guys were just discussing removing yourself from groups that kind of take your energy. So I happened to go with family members who really made a girls' trip in the past horrible for me. And I
Oh
said I would
no.
never do it again. But here I was being invited, paid for trip. So I said, why not? And this time, that had been like 4 years ago, and this time around was totally different. I don't know if maybe the girls had matured a bit. Things were just, and then one was pregnant on the last trip, wasn't pregnant this time. So
That's helpful.
that made a huge difference. So it was really nice and it was a really like reset. I really enjoyed it.
I
That's
love
great.
that. You should definitely offer that group feedback of like how much nicer it was this time around as a reminder for the next trips.
Yeah, I actually, yeah, we did discuss it. But it's just I'm the older, so I went with my nieces in-law, and me and my nieces are almost the same age. And
Okay.
my sister-in-law who's older. So it was different. They're still kind of having kids, they're a bit younger than me. and me and my sister-in-law were kind of over that already. So I think they also noticed the difference. It was nice. It was nice.
I love it. We just got a message that says, why can't I read it?
You want me to read it?
Oh.
Sean says, 2 cool puzzles, self-help book on decluttering, and a trip to Jamaica. All 3 of those sound amazing. I love to do a puzzle. I, that is actually, Virginia, where you're talking about like crafting and like having something just to like focus on that like clears your mind. That's what puzzles do for me. Like where I can just like sit there and work on a puzzle and it's fun and it like and I like to do a puzzle and like listen to a book on tape. And so that's
You really can't think about anything if you're doing both of those at the same time. I love it.
Well, when she said the craft, the first thing that came to mind was my puzzles.
Yeah.
And I do puzzles and music.
Yeah. I think I love that.
How many pieces are we talking?
Oh, I torture myself. So this latest one is 1,000 pieces.
Oh,
1,000
pieces. That's a commitment. 1,000 pieces.
And they're not the traditional puzzle pieces. They're like these weird puzzle pieces. Some look like edges, but they're not edges.
Wow. You really are challenging yourself.
During COVID, somebody gave me a puzzle and it was, I think, 500 pieces and just one solid color. And I don't think I finished it, actually. I was over it.
Yeah, I actually, I had a puzzle that I started over Christmas break and then I had to like pack it up and put it away. I need to bring it out. I kept all like the parts that I had like already fit together. Like I've got it like set aside. But because with school starting again, like I just didn't have the time. And plus I have kittens in the house that it's hard to do a puzzle when you've got small cats that are going to steal pieces. That's not good. And so what is this self-help book on decluttering? Because I feel like I need that in my life.
Yeah, it's it's actually keeping my interest too. It's the art and magic of tidying.
Okay.
By KonMari. I can put it in the chat.
Oh, is it Marie Kondo?
Yeah, Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo.
I haven't read the books, but I have seen the Netflix show.
Yeah.
If you could put it in the chat, that would be great. I
will.
Because she's the one that talks about like the idea of like if items bring you joy or not, and how we just keep things out of obligation. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
my house is a disaster right now. Maybe I should read it along with you.
And if you clear your house, your mind will be clear. That's the idea.
I love that.
That sounds like it would help with mental as well, like emotion, being able to detach yourself and realizing I'm only holding on to this because of this. And it really, I think that sounds like something that would help you, with finding yourself and who you are and why you do things and stuff like that. That sounds interesting.
Agree.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, if you want a sneak peek into somebody's brain, look at their environment. Like if my desk is a disaster, you know where I am in that moment. So I think there's a really good connection with how we feel.
I'm looking around my desk right now and all of the piles, and I'm like, wow, this really is the end of the school year. One thing that I always do, like the first day of summer break, is I clean my office. And just I have this like pile of stuff and I go through it and like there will be stuff in this pile at the bottom from like August that I was like, oh, like maybe I'm gonna need that again. And so then I just throw things away. But I need to do that in my home too, because I tend to let my husband clutter up stuff. I feel like my husband, if we don't control him, that he could become a hoarder. I'm not lying. Like there's just like there's just a lot of piles and like we need to I thank you, Sean. Like you're giving me inspiration of like what I'm gonna like we're gonna tackle the house because
I love it.
It's stressing me.
I have a question for everybody, and this might not be on your topic list, Ginny, but I was thinking about it. And when we're talking about summer, How many of you feel obligated to make sure your kids are entertained, if you will? I was thinking back of summertime when I was young, and I literally just ran the streets, played in the park with my friends, and did all these things. And sometimes I catch myself getting caught up in like, what am I going to do with the kids? What are they going to do this summer? How am I going to keep their minds doing this and keep them away from video games? So Virginia's like, here I am.
Okay, Virginia,
So if you have any thoughts on that, I'd love to hear them. Genius.
No, I was just raising my hand. That's totally me. Guilty. I'm like, what can I do for the kid? Just like for Vegas. I was in Vegas. I made sure I sent money to some of the kids. If I stopped to eat, I had to send them money to eat. I bought their movie tickets to go with dad over, while I was there. I was in the app because I do the app stuff and dad doesn't. So I'm like, here, you guys go to the movies. So even while I was away, I was still like making sure that they had something fun to do since I was out having fun. So
Totally.
yeah, I'm totally feeling that now.
Yeah. Always that guilty, like, I'm having fun and I'm out eating dinner, so I got to make sure my kids got something to. Like, I asked my husband, I'm like, how do you have fun and not think about the kids? And he's like, that's rude. I'm like, I know, but it's true.
But I think it's hard, because let me, like, when my daughter was young, I was still teaching.
Okay.
And then I went into administration when my son he had just turned 2, I think. Yeah. And so that's when I started, having to work in the summer, because then as an administrator, I work year round. And so I had to start working during the summer. And so I feel like with my daughter, I was a lot less concerned about it because I was home during the summer and I didn't need childcare. And so I think that's like something to consider. Like if you need to work and you need to get childcare, that's like, okay, you got to look at summer camps and things like that. And it's hard and they're so expensive. Oh my gosh. I remember having to when my kids got old enough that I felt like I didn't need to pay for, day camps anymore. I felt like I loosened up a little bit on like what, their summertime activities and let them just chill because they were old enough that I could leave them at home and they'd be okay. And I wasn't spending a fortune during the summer because those summer camps are outrageously expensive.
I don't know that I've ever identified like that perfect balance of like not over scheduling our kids, but then not just letting them do whatever they want. Like I tend to lean towards, just let them play video games. They were in school all day, So I don't know. And I know some other people are like the opposite of like tennis and tutoring and all these things. And I know for my own sanity, I don't want to be driving people around all summer.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that. Because just literally this morning, I had to drop my son off at school and I was thinking about him this summer and just knowing his tendencies, like, God, if I don't like get him to do like some sort of activity this summer, he will literally lay on the couch and play video games for 2 solid months. And that's not good. So I was like, literally like, how do I get him to just like walk around the block, do something?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I wonder like about like long-term damage of just letting them play video games all summer. I don't know the answer to that. But it's like
I think for me, it may be easier just from a daughter mother perspective, because what I noticed that my daughter does like and does with me is if we do it together. Okay, so if we go in the backyard, if we're gardening, if I need her to do something, if we do it together, then she'll do it. If I want her to practice or we skip track or she doesn't go track practice, but I still need her to walk, she'll do it, but she wants me to do it with her. So I have to, so that's my way of bonding, I guess, with her, but also getting her to do what she's supposed to do.
And I think I'm fortunate for the community that I live in. Our kids still play outside. Our kids go bike riding. kids, like,
Same.
Mom, I'm going out to play. Okay, what are you gonna go do? We're going to our friend's house to go play football. And we're in a gated community, so it's they don't go outside of the community. They're here. The streets within our community are just small streets. So they're still able to go ride bikes and ride their skateboard. And then when they get tired of that, they come in and play video games, or they'll take their video game over to their friend's house and play. And then they get bored of that and they go outside and play something else. And then we have a community pool. So it's like, oh, all my friends are going to the pool. Let's go to the pool. Okay, you go to the pool. So we're still pretty fortunate to have that here.
I love that.
I just ordered on Amazon that book. It's 45% off on Amazon right now. It arrives tomorrow if you Prime.
Oh, awesome. You'll love
She'll
really like
have it read by Sunday.
Totally will. And her house will be organized by August.
I'll let you guys
This is
know.
such a fast reader.
I know, I wish.
Oh yeah.
But I will say it's keeping my attention. So it'll keep you guys' attention. If it keeps mine, it'll keep yours for sure.
Awesome. I can't wait. It's gonna be great. I don't know if my husband will be excited about it.
Just put it in my cart.
It's life changing, they say.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
So-
you. I mean, summer book club.
In the chat, Grace had said, I plan on having no plan to do anything at this time, just relax a bit and no need to follow any special schedule. And I think that is sometimes like that can be like one of the best forms of self-care, like especially if you normally have a scheduled life and like you've got to do this, this, and this, and there's so much that being able to say, you know what? No, I'm just for this little bit of time, I'm going to have no plan. I'm just going to relax and just go with the flow. And I think that that is a great thing to do for yourself. You know, it's kind of going along with that idea of like setting the alarm clock an hour later, or maybe you get days where you just turn the alarm clock off. And I love when like, because even though I work during the summer, I do have like where I will take a chunk of time off where I'm not at work. And that's my favorite thing to do is to turn off my alarms. And like that's something my husband doesn't have. My husband has an alarm clock that he has an special alarm for Sunday mornings. It goes off at 7. And I'm like, why do we have a Sunday alarm clock?
One of my goals this summer actually is to spend a little bit more time outside. Like even the things I do with my kids are always indoor. Like when we spend time together and we go somewhere, we usually go to Target. Like we're just very like confined. And so for Mother's Day, one of my kids suggested that we go to the beach. I couldn't remember the last time I took my kids to the beach, and we actually had a really wonderful time. It felt good to get air, and I forget that. And so I even put like a reminder in my phone like every week for the summer to be like, get some fresh air and some sun. Go outside. Like, what are you doing? So that for me is going to be something that's big, and obviously good for your mental health, good for, bonding with the kids. My kids are really into playing wiffle ball right now. So if I suggest like, let's go to the park, bring the bat, the wiffle ball, I think they'll be totally game. It's about me initiating that, and sometimes I just get stuck. What is the term the kids use? Bed rotting.
Oh, I've never heard that.
That's it. Like literally just being in your bed all day long. Like literally rotting in your bed is what they say. So my kids will be like, Mom, you're rotting again. I'm like, okay, fine, let's go somewhere. Because it's comfortable. It's like, it's easy to fall into that pattern. And that for me is one of the reasons why I used to dread summer break, is because I knew that I get into that lazy habit. So I'm really trying this summer to like not push myself to do all the things, but at least the very least getting up once a week and going outside, going for a walk, like anything, just getting outside. You haven't heard that term yet? You should go on TikTok. There's some funny videos about bed rotting with your dog.
I mean, I don't know if I want to watch it because it's my favorite thing to do.
I know. It's made me get up.
And it's actually like when we go back and we talk about getting older, one thing I have found that I can't lay in bed all day because it hurts my back. So if I do that, then my back is all messed up the next day.
When she said staying in bed, I immediately started to feel back pain.
You have to take like a bed rotting break to like stretch, like getting old sucks. Can't even just lay there anymore. My gosh.
I have
Oh,
a feeling I'm not gonna feel summer just because one kid, we just signed up for boxing classes, another kid has summer school, another kid already has other plans, and it's like, it sounds like it's gonna be the same routine.
yeah, it's hard. Like summer is something that I feel like on the first day of summer, I'm like, oh my gosh, got the whole summer ahead of me. And it goes so fast. And the next thing you know, you're like, what? School's starting next week? It's already over. And so yeah, it's crazy.
Was summer longer back in the 80s? Because it feels really short now.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think we're almost on a year-round schedule.
Yeah,
It
that's
seems
what I
like
feel like.
it definitely seems like that. I feel last summer, like just the way the school calendar worked, last summer was actually a week shorter. This year it's more normal. Like summer is 9 weeks this summer. So
Oh, it's 9 weeks.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
okay. Good to know.
okay. So Ving says this summer, my plan goal is to actually finish at least one book start to finish. That's a good, I mean, I do that like easily, but if you're not a reader, I definitely, and I think like, if, explore books on tape, like Audible. If you're not, if you find it hard to sit down and read, like that's just like a lot of people, like they get antsy and they just can't, they find it difficult to sit down and read. I think listening to a book on tape while you're like gardening or walking or doing something like, or even driving, that is a great way to get into reading more. And a lot of people will be like, oh, that doesn't count. It totally counts because you are being exposed to new knowledge, and like it totally counts. Sean, I don't know if your books are still available for purchase. I'm going to make myself a note. And I will try to find out and I'll get back to you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. All right. Anything else that you guys want to do this summer, or any questions you have for the end of the school year? As this is our last weekly meeting.
I had one general question about
Mhm.
a fall enrollment. My daughter, Selah, it was a transfer, intra-district transfer. And I don't know if I have to renew that transfer request or if it's automatic. She said that she had her classes already, but this is
It's
our first time
automatic.
doing this, so I'm not
I
sure.
think it's,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's confusing when you originally apply for the intro, because I think it does say it's year to year.
Mhm.
What that means is that we go through the intros, and honestly, if somebody isn't attending school or they're failing all their classes, or like we'll say, hey, no, this obviously hasn't been a good fit for you. You should go back to your homeschool. But as long as the student's on good standing, we just assume that they're going to continue on. And
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm glad to hear that because I've never renewed my paperwork.
Yeah, I actually had that question at the beginning, or not at the beginning, but like mid-year. And they told me the same thing. They said it's nothing to worry about
No,
unless they contact you to let you know that, there may be an issue.
Yeah, if we're concerned and like that's going to be a problem, we contact you. So if you don't hear from us, then you're fine. So
okay, no news is good news.
no news is
Yes.
good news. Sharon says, where can one get ebooks for 11th grade psychology AP and physics AP? Well, are you talking about the textbooks?
No.
They're in the book room. You can go and it's in the book room and see like what the book is.
Go get it.
And then if you wanted to look at the ebook, I don't know if there are ebooks for a lot of textbooks. Sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't.
No.
I don't know if you
No.
can
Go, 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 go.
I don't know if you can check them out already. It kind of depends on what I would say is don't try to check them out now because we have kids returning books right now, and that's kind of like the book room is a little bit chaotic. But during the summer, you can kind of go and see, and you want to pre-check out the books. Jocelyn, who is our book room clerk, would probably let you because we do check them out to students before school starts anyway. So if you wanted to get a jump on that, then that's it probably would not be a problem at all. And Jocelyn does work during the summer.
I
So
hope there's fun stuff in addition to AP reading. Just saying.
yes. Yes. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much. I have not yet planned our topics for next year. A lot of times we repeat favorite topics. I do like to do new topics too. So if you guys have any ideas for new topics, shoot me an email about what you'd like to see. I will very likely stick to the Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. because that's what works for my schedule when I tend not to have other meetings at this time. So our school starts on a Thursday next year. So our first meeting won't be the first week of school because I won't do it the day before school starts, but I'll do it like the first full week of school, which I think would be August 14th. Would be the first one. So, but everybody have a wonderful summer. Enjoy your time. Summer, guys, goes super fast. Virginia, have time to take some time for yourself. You know, even though you're going to be busy and your kids have schedules and all that stuff, find something to do that's, you know, a little bit fun.
We would like to see what you've crocheted over the summer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that probably won't happen. I plan on campaigning. So I hope that's fun.
Oh.
So yeah, I will be running for Orchard School Board
Oh, good
this
for you.
upcoming November. So and for any parent who wants to come and help join us with the parent boosters at Piedmont Hills, you're more than welcome. We have lots of fun.
Yes, we are so grateful for the parent boosters. Thank you so much. I kind of just assume that other schools have parent boosters, but when I was talking to other principals about Staff Appreciation Week, and no, we're very lucky. They know other schools don't have what we have. So thank you. We are very, very blessed. And Virginia, I was actually going to email you while I've got you. Our breakfast is going to be in the L building this year, not the library.
Okay, L building. Got it.
Okay. Well, everybody, this last week of school is going to go by pretty fast. So almost done. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Happy summer, everyone.
Yes. Happy
Thank
summer.
you. Thank you for a great year.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Bye.